Hi everyone, this is Ms. Smith, and the purpose of this video is to review the literacy narrative assignment overview. The literacy narrative is one of the essays that we will complete this semester. And so your assignment is to write a literacy narrative about a defining moment in your life thus far that has shaped who you are as a reader or writer. And it's essentially your writing identity. You are writing a 3 to 5 page essay, and it must meet the guidelines below. You want to double space the entire essay, use black font color, and 11 or 12 point type. And you want to also make sure that you have 1-inch margins in your document. Now when you open a Microsoft Word document, typically it's already set up with the 1-inch margins. So there's probably nothing you have to do there. But if your margins look a little narrow or too wide or anything, you may want to check them to make sure that they're 1-inch margins all around your document. You want to use an appropriate font like Calibri, Times New Roman, or Arial. Now you don't want to use any type of font that it's too decorative or playful looking or anything that would be inappropriate for a college level English assignment. You want to make sure it's just really simple, straightforward text, straightforward font. You want to include a heading at the top left side of the page that includes on 4 separate lines your name, your class, the name and version of the assignment you are submitting, for example, Literacy Narrative Outline, Literacy Narrative Rough Draft, Literacy Narrative Final Draft, and the date. Okay, and so on 4 lines at the top left side of your paper, you want to make sure that you state that. You want to include a typed heading, a typed title in bold style. Okay, so give your essay a title. I like to say name your baby, right? This essay is your baby, right? You've put time and effort into it by the time you get to that final draft, so make sure it has a name on it. Put a title on it. Maintain a good use of grammar and sentence structure, and demonstrate an understanding of the literacy narrative genre and of the rhetorical situation. Tell a complete and interesting story. Okay? Now, the assignment must be submitted in Microsoft Word format. If I cannot open it, then you cannot receive credit for it. You want to refer to pages 83 through 93 of the textbook for key features of literacy narratives and a guide to writing literacy narratives. So I'll talk about a few things really quickly. So with a literacy narrative, you want to make sure that you are telling a really good story, right? A well-told story, because it is a narrative. And the hallmark of a narrative is the ability to tell a complete and an interesting story, okay? And so again, you're writing about your writing or your reading identity, something that has shaped who you currently are as a reader or as a writer. It's not necessarily then going to be a happy ending type of story. And so you may hate writing at this point in your life, and you may feel like it's the last thing that you want to do. And there may be some particular event, some defining moment in your life that has caused you to feel that way. And that's the story I want you to tell if that's your story, okay? Or you may love writing. You may absolutely adore it, and there may be that defining moment, again, that has shaped who you are. Maybe you used to hate writing and now you don't anymore, or vice versa. Whatever is honest for you, whatever is true for you, I want you to write about your writing identity, right? And that defining moment that shaped who you are, okay? And so, a couple of things to keep in mind. You want to follow the writing process. You want to produce an outline at the end of the pre-writing stage of the writing process. So that very first stage, at the end of it, once you've generated your ideas and found a direction for your writing, you want to create an outline. You should have a formal outline as defined in the textbook, and it should include a thesis statement or the main point of your essay at the top of the outline. You're submitting your formal outline to me before the deadline, and you want to consult your syllabus for that date. Okay, and so you must submit your outline first. After we're done with the outline, then you need to begin working on your rough draft. Okay, and you want to submit your rough draft by deadline. Now pay close attention to this. Immediately after you submit your rough draft to me on D2L in the Dropbox, you want to also submit your rough draft to BrainFuse. Okay, I will not give you detailed feedback on your rough draft. Okay, you may not receive much of any feedback from me in terms of written form on your rough draft. That's why we're using BrainFuse. Um, a professional online tutor in English will give you that extensive feedback on your rough drafts, okay? And after you submit your rough draft, you and I will have a discussion week where we will talk about your rough draft. I will ask that you contact me so that we can discuss your rough draft. And I'll also want to hear about your BrainFuse feedback at that point in time. And so do not skip that step. Once you submit your rough draft to D2L for me to read and review it, okay, which I will read it thoroughly, and then you want to make sure that you immediately send it to BrainFuse so that you can actually get feedback on it from an online tutor. And then finally, when we get to that point, you want to submit your final draft. And you want to make sure, of course, that you've met all assignment requirements. Additional grammar resources are available under Content, Shared Files, Grammar Resources, and that's on D2L, of course. And if you need additional support at any time, please let me know. You can contact me by phone or by email, or you can visit my office hours on campus or visit me in the English Tutoring Lab. And I don't actually have to be in the English Tutoring Lab when you stop by. The schedule for the English Tutoring Lab is on our homepage. And so whenever the lab is open, you're welcome to come in, and any English instructor can help you as you're working on this assignment. Okay, keep in mind that if none of my office hours work with your schedule, you can make an appointment to meet with me if that is necessary. And so this is our assignment overview for the literacy narrative. And if you have questions, please let me know. I look forward to reading your work.